mix, you know what I'm talking about? That lettuce, that lettuce. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. That lettuce, that lettuce, focused all on the check, yeah, all I want is lettuce, yeah, just give me the lettuce, yeah, just give me the lettuce. All I know is lettuce.
Let us heads, we are back with another edition of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. Today you got Goldie and Golfberg.
What
and
up?
Just a minute. Hold on. I know you're excited to jump in there. We will be bringing, let me do the professional tease.
Fine.
We will be bringing on a guest, little different here today. We're going to do some of the traditional guest profiling, learn a little bit about him. But he's coming on as kind of a sleeper cell expert in the space that we want to deep dive in. We've been wanting to deep dive in a while. Professional tease. Going to stop there. Mr. Golfberg, how are we doing today?
Well, it's incredible. We're bringing my favorite app to life. It's like, are these people on TikTok actually real? Like, let's find out. That'll be fun.
TikTok, Instagram, all the socials.
I got better news, though, than that.
Okay.
It's 65 degrees in Washington. It's sunny. I mean, it hasn't even been raining that much. I don't know what's happening with the climate and the world in general. Probably not good, but it's not bad for winter golf.
It's bullshit for winter golf in the Southeast because we've been under, it's permafrost, call us Siberia at this point. It's been the worst winter in the Southeast since I've been down here, and it's been a long time. So,
I've been telling you to move here for a couple of years now, man.
Yeah, and I'm sure I will, and it will be an atmospheric river permanently.
Yeah.
But anything else? We're recording right before the Super Bowl, so you're up in Seattle. Are we excited for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm doing everything I can to stay excited. I'm here, so Seattle's my. I'm a Bears
we're
fan
Bears
for life.
Bears.
But I was at the NFC Championship game. I mean, that's how I'm grateful for the life I get to live. I was there repping for the Bears, had my Bears jersey on, talking to like the 10 Rams fans I found. That's a crazy environment. But it was pretty awesome to see them win. I'm hoping we just kind of cap this off here.
All right, gonna be a good one.
Yep.
Professional Super Bowl teaser. So let's transition. We got to get to the topic. The guest is waiting patiently. I hear he's got a little bit of a cold too, so he's really powering through for us today.
What a guy.
But we deep dive all these topics. Sometimes we do bring on somebody that's an expert in the space, but a lot of times it ends up being a profile of that person and less about the topic. Today, we're going to do that hybrid approach, and it is the wonderful world of all things golf content creation, right? So we're talking influencers, YouTube golf. We've wanted to talk about it, but we've been wanting to bring someone on. And look, the good Grant Horvat, they won't return, or their people won't
boxing
return
us
our
out,
calls.
man.
So they're boxing us out. But so we went to the next tier. He's not going to be offended for that, but he's got an ascension. He's got about a couple 100,000 followers between Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. He's doing awesome stuff, and for some reason, we've both come across him in our own organic path, and we've shared stuff from him. We like this guy, and we've kind of been cynical. We don't like a lot of the people doing it, but we want to deep dive with him, right? What do you got?
Well, it's true. We do like this guy, but is it him or is it the algorithm like making us like him? Like these are some of the topics I want to dive into. I mean, he's a great guy, but how does this happen? How was he selected?
Well, he was selected, and he's working his butt off doing some cool stuff. So let us heads, without further ado, please welcome to the podcast, Mr. Jake Dez.
What's up, guys?
Jake,
Thanks for having me. Are you saying I'm more accessible than Grant Horvat?
I'm just saying, he's got so many people around him right now, so you just can't get to him. It's like, it's funny you say this, and we kind of, obviously everything we're saying has a dose of sarcasm to it, but literally accessing some of the top end of like the YouTube golf has been more problematic for us than accessing like professional golfers in terms of the layers of people you're going to have to go through. Like you think, because they're obviously not going to answer an Instagram DM or it's managed by someone. It's literally getting to that point. So it's kind of wild, but you're at that perfect point of ascension. We knew you were 6 months to a year away before you wouldn't return our calls and DMs.
That's right. 6 months max. Yeah. 6 months max. And we weren't, no, I'm kidding.
No, for sure. So, well, I promised a little context up front. So I think for people that don't know who you are, Jake Dez Golf, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever at, give us what I know is you're a legitimate golfer, right? First of all, we only want to talk to good golfers. You say you're a +5. I believe it. You're a D1 golfer at Alabama, but give us a little bit of background on Jake of going into D1 golf at Alabama to now you are a golf content creator.
Yeah, so I grew up like most guys who play D1 sports, I'm assuming, young age, committed to golf, committed to my sport, treated it like a job, played tournaments, just literally lived golf 24/7 all growing up. And that led to playing at Alabama for 4 years. And, those 4 years were, I would say, pretty handicapped from doing engineering. I was like way more student than I planned on being. But yeah, basically COVID was my senior year, and I've been playing pretty well the last couple years of college. And when COVID hit, all of a sudden I got freed up to, I thought I was just turning pro. I thought that was, it was my senior year. And so I was like, well, shoot, whenever tournaments come back, I guess I'm playing for a living. And, just always what I wanted to do. And that 2020 summer, I got like really sharp. I mean, it took basically 2 weeks of not doing school and engineering and kind of mandatory golf team stuff to kind of do golf how I wanted to do. And I was just freed up and started playing insanely well that summer. I played with my my dad's group at the club, and we kept a handicap for for games basically. And I think I started pushing like +7 that year, and just was playing great. And ended up, yeah, it was.
It's amazing. I just saw the body language. Mr. Golfberg just he can't fathom it.
It was good, man. I'm telling you, that was it stinks that it overlapped when there was like no tournaments, and obviously there was like a lot more serious stuff going on in the world. So but yeah, it was I basically showed up and shot like mid-60s like every time. It was pretty fun, honestly.
So COVID forced you into it, basically. It was like, you don't get to do school anymore. You don't really get to hang out with people anymore. The only safe space is a golf course, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm actually better than I thought I was.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was just, I knew I wasn't playing up to my potential during school for a lot of reasons. And just having literally every weight lifted off my shoulder, we were fortunate enough to just, like you said, golf was available during pretty much that March 2020. That was all you could do, more or less. And so it was just a good excuse to like go spend 4 hours hitting balls and play 18 holes like every single day.
So I don't want to mess up your flow. I love this, but what made you decide to go into mechanical engineering?
So there wasn't a huge specific reason. Basically, I've always been really good at math. It's just playing to my strengths. It's funny doing content now. My job is kind of like being on camera and being personable, but I'm like naturally introverted, good at math. Kind of just didn't want to do presentations. Wanted to just use what I was good at and kind of just work quietly. So it was mostly that, honestly, just playing to my strength in math. And then
you a data golf guy?
Big data golf. Yeah. Especially, so it's complicated. Like my golf game, I'm the most feel player ever. So I try to not be too analytical with my own golf, but like I'm such a nerd in general. So it's hard to not be like, I've studied data golf, the strokes gained spreadsheets, and whether it's for picking favorites for, tournaments or whatever, just straight up seeing like if someone wins, why did they win, kind of getting into it. So big data golf guy, big nerd in general. But again, for my game, I have to keep it like the opposite of that. I have to stay so feel based because
totally. Well, I like that you didn't start with analytics either. You start with feel, build up the game, build up the instincts, and then it's like, can this shit actually help me out? Can the decade golf philosophies help me out? Can whatever it is that I've had to do that a little more lately too, and it genuinely helps. I talk to my kids about this because they love their sports, but they don't practice as much, and I'm like, guys, I was always like good at golf, but I didn't practice till I was like 35, and then it was like, oh shit, like now that was the first time I ever became scratch. Like you actually just have to like get out there and grind. And anyway,
for sure.
You said you were doing that as a kid though. You figured that out early.
Yeah, I basically I played my first, more or less I played all sports, and then when I was 8, my dad found like US Kids Golf Tour. I think it was like maybe 8, 9 hole events throughout the summer in Birmingham, and so I wanted to play one of those, and I ended up, I think I lipped out a 6-footer that would have got me into a playoff my first tournament, and I was like, that I just immediately was like, that was the most fun thing I've ever done, and asked if I could just play the rest of them, and he was like, of course. And so I ended up winning the next 7 and getting to go to Pinehurst for that world championship. And I pretty much maybe did one more year of other sports, but I mean, I think by the time I was 10, I was completely keen on playing professional golf. Locking in on golf is what I wanted to do. So
wait, so you really were and had, it sounds like, real positive trajectory. Senior year is COVID. it sounds like not just like, okay, that sidelined you and you had to think about things differently, but you really thought you were graduating and on a path to like jump on a tour. Like, what was that looking
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, so, yeah, basically my whole life, there was never a doubt. I mean, I, like, never a doubt that I wanted to try, right? Not
Yeah.
never a doubt that I would actually succeed, but, like, pretty much 8 years old to 17, give or take, which is when I graduated high school. I got better every year. Really, when I was finishing up high school, I was playing all the AJGA invitationals, and I think ranked I think I was in the top 50 in the world as a junior at some point, and just, like,
Shit.
right there, not beating down the door. I wasn't We had guys like Sam Burns was winning everything. Sam Horsfield was another guy. We had guys who obviously they felt like more for sure, but I was on the right path, no doubt, to just be, around some of the best, of my age group. And
Yeah.
yeah, it stunk. I had my golf coach that I grew up with, from maybe 12 years old to 17. He moved away, and I switched coaches, and definitely took like a huge downtick for the first time right about freshman year of college. And then obviously that combining that with doing engineering, and of course life is just harder when you start college. There's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
I basically like took my first downtick and then kind of had to come back up, late into my 4 years, more or less. And then just had that, again, huge jump basically as soon as I stopped having to do school and golf team stuff.
All right, so quit teasing us. So the huge jump is made. We're a +7. You're killing Dad's men's group. COVID is ending, and we're getting some tournaments back on. So what happened when you really try to make
Yeah.
that leap?
So I ended up doing, because COVID was still delaying. I played one more semester at West Florida when I did grad school. So it just seemed like without tournaments going on, may as well do grad school. I had a
Did you do
chance to
engineering for grad school or some
I
like
just did
business stuff?
business. Yeah, we just
Okay.
went general MBA.
God, I was like, come on, man, you're killing
Yeah.
yourself.
No,
Get one of our types of degrees over here.
Yeah, I did. I went to straight business. It was I realized probably sophomore year at Alabama that I did not like engineering, but I was homeschooled, did early college, and I kind of got down I got pretty far down the degree pretty quick, and it felt like I may as well just knock it out. But I knew, yeah, way before I finished undergrad that I was not going to be doing engineering, unless I absolutely had to. So yeah, when I had a chance to pick anything else, I went with anything else and just did an MBA. Yeah, it was, I did a 2-year program down there. Just figured, we love free degrees, and let's play some golf. Had a great time at West Florida. That was definitely the most fun semester of college golf I had. And yeah, I just finished out the degree, and I mean, shoot, it was all the way. I didn't turn pro until beginning of 23, basically. Played the 2-year, played on and off after finishing that semester at West Florida, but had basically a year off where I didn't play a ton of golf just because I was, honestly, I think I got burned out. I mean, it's cliche, but it just, there was some life stuff going on, and I just wanted to finish grad school and then see if I wanted to play after that. And yeah, turned pro early in 23. Wanted to give it like one good shot because I just knew I didn't want to be as poor as you have to be to kind of grind out mini tours. I mean, it stinks, if you're not fully funded, it is not a fun year. Just staying in $50 a night motels and playing courses that greens are bumpy, and if you don't shoot 67 3 straight rounds, you lose $2,000. Not appealing. So
God, you had us at bumpy greens.
Yeah. See, now I love it.
Amazing.
Now, like, as soon as it's not my job to post a number, I love courses that are like kind of crusty.
Right.
They're my favorite. But yeah, when you have a 3-footer that might make or break whether you lose $2,000 or not, it stinks when putts are bumping. So mini tour life, not for me, man. I guess some people do like it, but I did not. I knew it was going to be 1 year. If I fly through Q school, amazing. If not, no sweat. I can live with that. And
did you do Q school then?
I did, yeah. I did Q school. Got through my first stage, missed it my second. Just shot like even for 4 days, and needed to shoot like 2 under a day for 4 days. And yeah, just
not a good golfer, Jake. What can I tell you?
I know,
just not good
just
enough.
Failed, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah, that's.
So, and that makes me think. I mean, I have questions on this topic of people that are consuming influencer golf, YouTube golf, and what their idea of what a good golfer is versus that separation to the next level. But before we get there, so you made the run pro golf. So now you start, okay. every asshole's out here doing clips of themselves. You
Yeah.
go, I'm the best version of that. How do you have the confidence to then start going down a path of being a golf influencer? What do you like to call yourself? Because
Yeah.
I feel like golf influencers sometimes can almost come off as like, a little like you're talking down, but but I don't know. But it's YouTube golf, but then again, like you're huge on Instagram and TikTok. So what do you call yourself?
I would say creator. I mean, I definitely don't, anything works, to be fair, but I would say that like specifically like influencer maybe feels disingenuous. Like my goal isn't to convince people to buy my goal is not grow a following so I can convince people to buy stuff, right? It's like what I try to do is just make fun to watch golf. I love golf, and I think that like when I go to courses I like and either find courses that I haven't played before and get to explore it, or just go play my home course and just hit kind of fun, stupid shots because I love it. I just want to create stuff. So I tend to say creator, but obviously anything works. There's no wrong word for it, I think. But
so what got you into wanting to be a creator then?
So I started posting basically the summer. I was playing professionally in 23. I was just out at the golf course practicing, playing every day. And I don't really remember. There wasn't a specific reason why I started posting to TikTok, but just posted some practice stuff. And then started filming 9 holes, just no specific reason, honestly. And I think one of the first rounds that really blew up was I ended up tying my course record at North River, one of the rounds I was filming. And that video really took off because obviously it's half the people are just like, there's no way, half the people are like sick,
Yeah.
And so before I even went to Q school, I didn't really have the funds for, you've got to have $7,000 in the bag just to try Q school. And so I think the comment sections were kind of riled up about like, dude, you got to go to Q school. And I made it clear, like, I'm just not, because I don't have the money. And actually Dan from Dano's Seasoning was the first guy. He reached out probably August of 23, and he was like, dude, we got you, like, go to Q school, you're nasty. And so
man, that's a fun. I did not have that on the radar. I've seen Dano for a long time. So
man,
that's
he's
cool.
the best. He's truly, like, everyone at Dano's, they're just the nicest people. And he literally hit me up in the DMs, and he was like, you should play Q school. I think my marketing team gave me some flexibility here. We're giving you and then Chance Taylor money for Q school. And dude, he's the nicest guy. So we went to Louisville, met up, played some golf, which shout out to Eric Wood too for having us at Valhalla. That was a sick round. But so that at least, like, I had maybe 10,000 followers on TikTok at that point, like a little bit of traction, but no effort in making like good videos, right? Just set up a tripod behind me and hit. And so when I went through Q school and didn't get status, I had somewhat of a following, and figured if I had a following without putting effort into like actual video quality, maybe like let's try to do that because it's fun. I mean, it's just a great community. I mean, most people are super nice and just appreciate the content, and I figured it was just a fun way to kind of keep doing golf, keep doing what I love. And again, it seemed like people liked watching me play for whatever reason, and because I was hitting boring shots then too. I was hitting just little baby pull fades with every shot, so if they liked that, I knew I kind of grew up playing the like Bubba style of golf, hitting ridiculous shots. I was like, I mean, shoot, I'd rather do that. It's more fun for me, and I feel like that would probably translate to fun to watch, hopefully.
For sure. No, it does. And I was trying to like crack the code and figure out what is it that actually not just gets people watching, gets the algorithm interested, pushes into this content, obviously.
Sure.
So clearly, great golfer, breaking a course record, Q school, a lot of that stuff makes sense. You would think that's the kind of person people would maybe want to invest some time in. So I'm just going to assume that had to be a big part of what kickstarted this kind of run for you and got you some popularity. And then once people get to know you, now they believe this guy's a good golfer. He's not full of shit. Now it's fun to watch him venture out to different courses, try different shots, etc. So I'm just thinking I need to go break a course record.
It helps. Yeah. If you film it too, if you film it when you tie or break your own course record, it does well.
I got to find a really, really, I was in not an easy course, because then the course record will be too low. I need that sweet spot.
It's almost easier at hard courses, I'd say,
Yeah, because you got a fighting chance. But so I do have this operating theory on a lot of stuff we've tried and just what we observe and consume, because we do consume pretty much everything in the golf space. And like I said, even up front, I poke fun that we're not the biggest fans of most creators, but there's still so much of it that some of it comes through, and I consume it. I like it. I enjoy it. Just pieces of it more so.
Sure.
But one thing you do differently is like you're kind of combining not only the crazy shots, like I think people generally appreciate like shot shaping, right? Especially like in today's day of just TrackMan golfers. So that's engaging. But I think humans crave information. They like being talked to, which is why I think YouTube golf, even though I find a lot of it kind of blah, but they're like communicating with you. So it gets suckered in like your friends, like playing with them. Right.
Sure. Absolutely.
But you're giving a lot of information. Like that's pretty much the majority of the stuff I've seen of yours. Like, and one thing is even that decision, I've talked to you on the phone a little bit about it, of for your long form videos, you say what you're going to do before every golf shot. Was that a conscious decision, or did you just start making videos and you're like, well, I got to talk to the camera, so I might as well just tell you what this golf shot's going to be? And then also, like, has that helped you, or does it just drive you nuts even further when you're like, yeah, I'm going to just cut this off the bunker, and then it's like a pull draw, in the left rough or whatever?
I would definitely say it helps a little bit now. I think it gives me no other option, right? Like the picture's so clear, like I have to tell the camera what I'm going to try to do with the ball, and it makes it very like isolated with target, visuals, goal. So I do think honestly, tough to prove that, but I feel like it does help if anything, right? I feel weird when I go play now and I don't do that. I'm kind of just like, I get over the ball and I'm like, I actually don't even know what I'm about to do. You know what I mean? And but yeah, so I would say it was kind of intentional. I think my first videos, I think there was not even a voiceover, right? It was just like me hitting shots, and then I think the first step was like getting myself to just record a voiceover, like this was an 8-iron from 165 or whatever, right? Just kind of easing into it. But I do think that's something I realized more and more that like the context, people really appreciated the context, I think, of what I'm trying to do. And then obviously, especially when I like maybe be very specific and detailed with what I'm trying to do, and then hopefully actually do that, I think that adds a lot of like credibility. I think, when people watch, they're not like, this is just complete bullshit, right? It's like, oh, he's actually like being specific and then doing it. Like there's no world that that's fake, right? Hopefully. So I think, I was gonna say maybe kind of intentional, but honestly, just from feedback, I think people were just like, the voiceovers got good reception, and then I bought some Bluetooth mics and just basically started saying what's in my head before I actually hit anyway. There's I have a lot of thoughts in general.
I can't imagine if I had to be 100% unfiltered what's in my head before I hit a golf shot. So
there's always a little filter. Yeah, there's always a filter.
I bet a lot of golf coaches watch that and go like, that's pretty great though. Like we would love for our pupils to be a little more like that, because everyone talks about visualization. And I actually think visualizing a shot in your head is kind of difficult. And it's kind of like you're just supposed to sit there and stare off into the distance and kind of like not think about whatever the hell else is going on that day, or a bird chirping. And it's just, it feels awkward. But if you talk through it, it's like all of a sudden I'm giving my brain markers, and it makes a lot more sense. I actually have been doing that. And I don't know if it's your influence, because you've actually influenced a couple things I do on the golf course, which is awesome to talk to you.
I love that.
And it comes from like a while ago. Like you were genuinely one of the people I was kind of interested. You know what it is? And I wore one today to remind me. Sweatshirts on the golf course.
Yeah, let's go.
Not just little hoodies. Like I think I saw you doing it, and I play in the PNW, and it gets chilly up here, and I'm like, that looks great. That looks comfortable. Why am I not doing it? So I started to love it. Feel great out there. Totally.
I love that.
Fashionista now, Jake.
I know. That's who thought when I was rocking pickle socks 2 years ago, who would have thought that I was gonna have
and then you say clothes. Pickles. That's weird, because I'm about to say something. The other thing, do you know that guy Landon Ashworth?
Yeah, definitely.
He's like the autistic golfer, but he's also like a fucking rocket scientist. So he's baffling. He's actually a genius, but he comes across really quirky. He talks over every shot. That's all he does. But it's all it's not as much. You're like very like pragmatic, explain what you're doing. He's like, a little crazier, a little more off the cuff, and he's has funny sayings and shit. But both of those things I'm looking at, all it does is ground you in the moment. That's 100%. All you're trying to do. I need to lock in here, figure out what I'm trying to do, get rid of all the distractions. So I think it really works. I've genuinely, you have to like not feel self-conscious though. Like if you're with your buddies, like I can do it around one of my friends. He doesn't mind. I guess if you're with strangers, you might feel a little awkward talking.
Like actually you verbalize, like you're actually verbalizing on the course. Okay. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I think it locks you in. We're always trying to discover anything that helps us be a little better at golf, obviously. So
absolutely.
Anyway.
I just can't tell you how many times there's like There's it's the OB or pond left. So I'm aimed down the right. And I'm like, I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to hit like a 2-yard little baby draw here. But I just come across and hit like a heel cut that's dead straight. And the whole group, like, hey, great ball. But in my head, I'm like, that's the polar opposite of what I wanted to do. But if I said it prior to, I don't know. For me, I was like, well, is it going to induce too much anxiety that it's like,
That's
if
true.
I don't do this now?
It's accountability. Like, you are holding yourself accountable in front of other people. But I think that's like, I mean, that's a big part of it, is that it very often doesn't go exactly how you plan. I mean, it's nice those rounds where it tends to, but I mean, overall, golf is so hard. I mean, I think I say that like every other video I'm saying golf is hard, but like it just truly is. Like I'm someone who's spent my whole life doing it, generally pretty good at it. And I mean, I hit bad shots all the time. So it's like, if I'm trying to hit a little trap draw 8-iron and it doesn't happen, it's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I just didn't hit a perfect golf shot, you know, and it's fine. I think it's accountability, but it's also completely risk-free accountability, right? If you're not playing for a living, there's just no consequence to hitting a ball OB or in the water. I mean, it's a game. You know?
Yeah, I mean, but isn't that the thing though? Like, you play D1 golf, you go to the second, iteration of college golf, you do the run at the Q school, but you get experience playing golf in the most tense environment you could.
Yeah.
So it's almost like when you go back to when that's not on the line, because even in that, like, it's like, yeah, your life's not on the line, but you feel like it is when you're in the 100%. Moment. I just want it, probably in a way, just like it's like anything else. You get experience at a higher level, you come back, you're like, well, it doesn't matter what I go shoot at Stream Song Blue, but 100%. That in itself probably results in you never like getting too far off the rails.
I think so. I feel like that's exactly what you just described is where I feel like I'm at. I like, of course, don't always play well, but I mean, it's never, I have less fluctuation, I think, good or bad. I don't practice enough to be like crazy sharp ever. Like, I can definitely get hot and shoot maybe 65, right, if I go play. But I mean, I definitely do that less than 2023 when I was like every day grinding, hitting yardages. Like, my ceiling is probably lower now, but I feel like my floor's almost higher because I think I do not take it so life or death. I mean, Q school, that's definitely the most stressed I've ever been is playing Q school. I knew it was kind of my one shot, which also maybe wasn't the best way to go after it, where it's like, it felt like it was so final, right? It's like, if I don't get through this Q school, maybe not doing it again. But
gotta write Dano's a check for reimbursement.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thankfully, no strings attached.
It's an unbelievable place to be in. Your golf game is the product, but you don't have to like consistently shoot great scores or make the cut or fucking 100%. Qualify for any. It's like, how old are you, Jake? In your 20s?
I'm 28.
Yeah, 28. I was at 27. So
I'll take it.
When I was that age, there was no getting into the business of golf. You're either gonna like come up with a product, or you had to be great and like go get on a tour. It's like this idea that like you can just be a really good. I don't even know. Like back in the day, I'd been, well, I'm good at golf. I'll try to leverage that in business. I'll get on the golf course, try to make deals, and find someone who wants to sell some commercial real estate or something. But you can actually take your game and not have all that insane stress. And just go fucking. It's a really cool. Like I'm really genuinely.
Yeah, like I use my golf ability to be like added to the corporate scramble to get promotions, to get a really shitty job that just paid more money. And now it's like, oh man, I missed that window where maybe you could have just gone off and really had some fun. But no,
I was gonna say that's a tangible thought I had when I was grinding it out, doing engineering, regretting every second of it. It was that I could have done anything, and it's what all my teammates and most other D1 athletes do. I think just get an easier degree because like the connections alone, like just especially with golf, like dude, the people who played golf at Bama are gonna get decent jobs because it's literally corporate scrambles alone. Like, I mean, who doesn't want a Bama player to play on their team, right? So like, I don't know. I regretted putting myself through the meat grinder with school for that reason too. I was like, I just didn't have to do that.
Help me here though. So, okay, you start doing the videos, and so I'm trying to do more bigger picture content creator golfers. What is that transition though, going from like, I'm a hobbyist to I'm okay laying the foundations of there's like a business, to where now I'm assuming you're more on the I'm a business, I'm a corporation side of thing. Maybe you're not. I know you said like, I get it. Like, hey, I'm not here just to sell you a bunch of products, but at some point we've experienced this, like this shit gets really expensive really quickly.
Definitely. Yeah.
So what is that kind of process like, or your thoughts or philosophies on it?
Yeah, so it's definitely both, right? I definitely consider like Jake Dez Golf is a business for sure. But it's obviously the origin into its core. It's like just creating fun content, right? So it's definitely both. I mean, I filed an LLC basically when I was like, this is what I'm doing, which was basically January 1st of January of 24, I would say. So just over 2 years now. I knew I had to treat it like a business. I had to be professional about keeping spreadsheets and tracking everything and just being like, just being a professional with what I'm doing. But at the same time, it's, the what I'm doing is the same as before I did that. It's just go film stuff, try to make high quality videos. I do treat it like a business, especially obviously with growth, it becomes more and more technically business like. But at the same time, like my day to day is almost exactly as before. It's just doing more of it, right? Doing different levels of it. So
is there a platform you're more like focused on now, or maybe it started one way and it shifted to another?
Yeah, I mean, definitely started TikTok.
Okay.
I think I made an Instagram early, but TikTok was very much kind of the leader there. And then that kind of bled into Instagram, taking Instagram seriously, and which I would say that's my bread and butter is probably Instagram now. I think it's probably it is the best combo of like honestly, like real people. Maybe like TikTok is a little body, maybe. It's both, right? Like there are real people, of course, on TikTok, but like I think Instagram is just taken more seriously. So I would say that's my bread and butter. And then the focus is definitely shifting towards YouTube. I mean, I never want to just abandon what I'm doing short form, because I think there's awesome short form content to be made. And I think there's awesome long form. But like with Chasing Aces is that new series I just posted the first episode. I mean, that's what I think playing into my ability to be honestly like long winded and have a lot of thoughts. Like I think that's hopefully what will be the most enjoyable to watch down the road, is if I can kind of figure out from a production standpoint how to efficiently do that. But
you said the P word, production. That was going to be my follow-up.
Yeah.
So one thing, just general commentary. It's like, so we have a lot coming up. So we're investing heavily on our format of profiling golf courses, but we recognize a missing piece in that space is people genuinely like watching people play golf and communicating on course. That's why YouTube golf, whether you love it or not, is as popular as it is. So it's like we're trying to have this format of merging these two worlds of like serious golf talk with like the fun aspects of it. Absolutely. But one of the things we struggle with is like, okay, we want high production value, but then there becomes a point in some of these products you're seeing, it's like so overproduced, right? Where it's like, 100%. Man, I feel like I'm watching television cover. It's like the full circle of stuff. It's like how podcasts went from fun to where now everything's a studio show, in-person guests. And I'm like, oh, you're just doing like the Tonight Show for your podcast. And
now it's
like
full television. Yeah.
And it sounds like I've had this debate with people like, oh, you're just being a hater because you're not doing it. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's just that like, it's different when it's earned versus when it becomes the barrier of entry, because there's so much corporate money that gets funneled into it. Right. Of like, well, you're not even going to be relevant on a ranking if you don't have a $150,000 production budget to do a podcast. Like the whole point of that medium was like, oh, it can be kind of guerrilla, right?
100%.
So yeah, like as you're scaling, because I know your videos are getting better and that's a part of it. Like how do you kind of balance that of where you don't have to get to, okay, it's a good production. I got an A camera, an A2 camera, a B camera. I got a live drone while I'm out there. I have like 6 audio guys. Like, I don't know, like it just seems like at some point that becomes very constraining in itself.
Yeah, 100%. I think the word you said early on was overproduced. I think that's a very conscious effort to not make it overproduced, especially the short form. I think what makes it, like you're talking about the appeal of podcast being anyone can go grab mics and do it. Like to start it, I think that's the appeal of content in general, is it's not, a cable network television program, right? It's literally just people, like you're just watching people you think are fun do their thing, right? And it doesn't have to be this 4-camera production to go play golf. So I definitely, I'm always trying to make the product better, but it's definitely a tightrope balancing act of not overproducing it, but like keep making it better. So I think as far as like the game plan with that, I want the YouTube videos to feel as close to, I think Grant, as far as like one person playing golf, Grant's kind of the, I would say who I look up to from a production standpoint, right? He has great equipment, he has great flyovers, he has great everything, but it's still like it's Sky with the camera and then maybe one
Yeah.
other camera, right? It's just like you just have the B cam sometimes, but it's mostly Sky and A cam and show the hole before he plays it with a little flyover. But that's it. It's not over the top. It doesn't feel like you're watching a television show. It feels like what it did 2 years ago. It just, the quality of the actual picture, I think, gets better and better.
And I do understand the allure. Like even Grant, that's a good example. So as we've been crafting a format, like a couple of his videos from a couple of years ago when he did a lot of solo stuff, I think that is closer to what you're describing. And it still is today, but it's definitely what I would say is inch towards more of the secondary camera and more of the but I get it too, because like, if you're really expecting, I mean, they talk about, your AdSense on YouTube and all this, like if you want to get people to watch more than 5 minutes of this video or 3 minutes of this video, it needs to be visually appealing. Like, so as much as, Jake going and explaining every one of his shots, I do understand, like, you're just trying to break up the monotony in long form, right? Of a different angle, something, so, but that's also, it's a fine line. I guess my thing is we always try to educate the world for the whomever wants to listen of a lot of stuff you consume is not as Jake Desi as you think, right? Like you a lot of the, again, it's not being a hater. You get big money come in, but it is bought up by management companies, like these kind of back end conglomerates that own a whole suite of these influencers and creators. And it just, to me, it comes so obvious through like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. Like the shtick is over. So yeah, that's kind of, it sounds like you're being a hater, but it's more of just commentary of, hey, everyone, be careful what you wish for is all I'm getting at.
No, and that's so valid. I completely agree that it's such a, like, when you see it, feel of overproduced content, I think, and like I throw Grant out because I feel like he doesn't. I feel like he is just like the sweet spot of like incredibly high production. I mean, you can tell he's like everyone involved in the filming, the editing, all the decisions, like it's so high quality, but it's still like, a lot of just GoPro dash cam more or less, and again, just a lot
golf
of
shots, seeing every golf shot. It's all,
it's just, it feels like it's the simple feel with high quality. And so, definitely. I think, hypothetically, if I had unlimited budget to go film YouTube videos, hopefully it wouldn't look insanely different than it does now. I think it would just, maybe be like higher quality, audio and probably a better drone. I just got a drone, which is sick, but better drone probably.
Hell yeah.
That's the inevitable problem though. When you don't have a ton of money, it has to be raw. You only have one camera. It's whatever camera you got. You have to edit it. When you have corporate sponsors and unlimited funds, now it's 8 people on the course and 7 cameras, and you have to have a couple different editors, and it's inevitable, man. That's capitalism. So good luck navigating that, Jake.
That's
staying authentic.
That's always I'm very conscious about not straying too far from the kind of raw what got people interested in the first place.
And not to ask such a technical question, I'm genuinely curious though, are you using a GoPro, or are you, because there's a difference between filming like the horizontal footage and then you have to translate that to TikTok, throws off the aspect ratio. What do you, just curious?
So I use phone. Almost all my short form is just iPhone. I still have an iPhone 15. It does amazing. It's incredible. So I think for short form, that I've always just known that's like all you need basically.
You have like an AI tracker, because it seems to grab the ball.
That's all in edit. That's
edit. Okay. And what do you use for your shot tracer?
Shot tracer.
Yeah,
the software. Yep, on my desktop. So
Premiere Pro. Do you use Premiere Pro for most of your editing, or
so I have used CapCut the entire time.
The video. Okay.
Yep. Until really recently, I got a new Mac and got Final Cut Pro. So I'm probably like 2 weeks into using that.
Jake, we're using all the same shit, bro.
Yeah. I'm running through y'all's inventory. But long form is I've got that Panasonic handheld like X1500, XC something 1500. But that's two years of the same Panasonic, and I think I still haven't gotten that as dialed as I'd like. I think it's kind of crazy. I'll film.
Because you're really reliant, you can control probably a lot of the short form, how you're doing it with a phone, but now with long form, you're 100% reliant on I'd say not 100%, but you're relying on somebody filming you, right?
Absolutely.
So that's another part. It's just, that's another, like the bigger you get, the more control you have to lose. And
exactly.
That's hard probably.
Yeah. And I have so many reps now setting up my phone and tripod, solo filming, like that's gotten dialed. And then yeah, there's every time I film a YouTube video, I feel like it looks a little different. You know, I've had just friends help me out when they can, and you know, I've never had like a full-time camera guy. I still do all my editing myself. Well, actually, last week or two, I've got a friend who is kind of helping take off some workload with editing, which is very, very appreciated. So,
hey, look,
yeah,
you know, that Jake Dez LLC, you know, do you want to be an early adopter for, I can't really give you a lot of money now, but maybe throw you 1% or 2. Do you really believe in me or not? You know,
yeah, exactly. I just that's my goal, is just put all the pressure on everyone else all the time. When I talk to them, it's on you, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like you are the, no, I get it. Heck, as Mr. Golfberg says, I'm the he says, I just love giving people all the best opportunities to fail.
That's right.
Set people up to fail.
I don't want that opportunity. I want to give it to other people. Yeah, 100%.
So how much you golfing then, just to combine it with all the content creation?
Yeah, I'll go a week without hitting a golf shot if I have, you know, like chasing aces again, for example. Like I just sat and edited for like 7 straight days. But then, you know, I think overall on average, I probably play 3 or 4 times a week, something like that. You know, I try to always have some interesting short form stuff queued up. So if I'm ever like going out of town or going on a film trip, I'll play maybe a bunch right before that, you know, 3 straight days and film a ton, just kind of queue it up.
So clarification, how much golf are you doing that isn't 100% geared towards I need to capture content from it?
I don't play too much off camera. I mean, shoot, I may have not played 5 rounds last year that weren't filmed on some level.
I don't want to miss anything.
It's like, I honestly, I mean, it sounds cheesy, but it's my job. I take it seriously. So it's like, I feel like it's just like the same reason why I might sit and edit instead of go do something fun. Like I'd rather work than not work, and I'd rather capture something. Yeah, maybe something sick happens and I want to obviously have it captured, but it just feels like I would be not taking my job seriously if I went and played golf without making something out of it, you know?
It's so good for the golf game too. I know we hit this already, but I realized that a couple years ago when we finally started filming ourselves, you have to go through this moment. It takes like a month where shit, I'm on, like, I got to lock in here, and you feel nervous at first, but I think you go over this threshold and it's like, you figure out how to just be present. And like, that's irrelevant. And if I can just be present every time I'm golfing, I'm probably going to golf a lot better. And then you're out there, you know, you're working on things. It is really great for the golf game. So
100%. Yeah.
Nothing worse than looking like a dipshit when the camera's rolling, man. You try to lock in as much as you can.
Because you start working on aesthetic things and like tempo too a little bit, you know?
No doubt.
You got to present well.
Look cool, slinging shots.
That's right. It is easier to, like, you know, and again, it plays to why it might help me play better. You know, I paint the like super specific visual, like literally out loud. And then, you know, I think now it's not very conscious, but I think you just subconsciously like want to swing nicely, right? You don't want to get jerky and try to rip in. Like, I try not to do that anyway. So it's just kind of extra incentive to like keep it smooth. Just don't force anything. It looks better, but then also like you hit better golf shots. So we're kind of a win-win.
I don't know, man. But the thing is too, like, I got issues because as we've scaled that part of it, man, the comment section, they just start like making fun of something in your swing. I'm like, who's this asshole? And then like it gets in the back of my head. I'm like, wait a sec, man. Maybe I could have that outcome, but look cooler doing it, you know? Like, you gotta stay away from the comments.
For sure. You gotta learn. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, you brought up chasing aces a couple of times. I wanted to kind of explore what that was, because I am 100% chasing aces on my own. I've actually got this little routine I do with my kid I'll bring up in a second. But can you break down what that is? And I want to get your opinion on that. But what is the series all about?
So I just decided what I like to do the most is find maybe a little crusty, but nice and crusty par 3 courses, and sometimes executive style courses. But basically, I think my favorite type of hole is a par 3 in general. And I say, like, every time I get on a par 3, I'm like, this is my favorite hole. And
because it's your chance.
Realize, it's so fun, right? You're literally just like trying to hoop it. And so Sugarloaf put me in an awesome spot this year where they were like, let's figure out a way to like get some sort of like monthly series going. And I immediately wanted to do something with par 3 courses, because that's just genuinely what I love. And so basically I'm going to try to go to every state that this is possible, and just drive all around it, kind of explore some off-course stuff, but generally just find sick par 3 courses and see if I can hoop one in each state. So
have you caught one yet?
Nope. I've only filmed 1 episode though, so this is new.
Okay.
How many aces? Do you have aces personally?
I have 2 aces. 2
Okay.
aces. Yeah.
Nice.
It took me like 18 years of playing golf to get my first one. And then the second one came 2 years, maybe a year and a half later. So it took a long time.
Yeah, my dad didn't golf his whole life. Got his first one at like 61 years old, and he's had 7 now. But
that's incredible.
Sometimes you just gotta wait. I haven't had one yet.
Now.
Yeah, I've been
that's
on
how
the
you hope it is. You hope when you get the first, it's just. Like,
I know you're about to do your thing, Aaron, but we've had so many lively conversations on aces. You know, the debates: what is, what isn't.
Sure.
You know, as content creation, kind of, you know, is it messed up the allure of the ace because every asshole's posting a hole in one, and then like, but it's no, I love the content, and even more so than just the aces piece of. We love short courses. Every time we go on a trip and we do 100%. A debrief, people like, and then people get annoyed with it, but the short course is always the most fun you have on the trip because it's just like you're getting shots, you're not stressed out.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you,
everybody can play it and be in the game because like we're all pretty. The three of the four of us are pretty close in capability, but then like. Sure. Yeah, Adam's not here to defend himself. He's the worst golfer of the group by you know 10 strokes, and it gets hard when you're like betting and doing games and trying to have stuff on course because we're given 5 shots, so this is not fun. But yeah, when you're on the short course, everything's kind of like this is what it is, having a good time.
But we're basically 100%. Looking to drop Adam from the group and recruit someone like you, Jake.
Yeah, Jake. We'll add you in as a fourth. We'll throw you in there.
Absolutely.
It's the only time you're golfing with your friends where you can hit the most insanely bad shot and everyone starts laughing. Like that's the best part. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like shake one out of the bunker and who gives a shit? It takes so
when it's on the 5th hole of like for some reason the regular golf course, it gets like tense and awkward and you feel bad. But it happens on the short course. It's the coolest thing ever. It's almost 100%. You want to do it.
But Jake, I wanted to ask you something. So I'm doing my own Chasing Aces series, not branded that way. I'm not trying to step in your territory. I haven't been filming it either. But what I do is at my home course.
So no threat.
Right. Other than that, it's the exact same.
Other than that, he will not film it, and it's not a real thing.
What you're doing is just slightly different. So at my home course, my kid and I'll come on. I found like this is really fun for him, which is part of why we've been doing it more often. But he really wants me to make a hole in one. He's invested. So we just go out and we play the 4 par 3s. And it ends up taking like, 30, 40 minutes or whatever. He's engaged. It's 4 holes. He's only 10. He loves it. But we're out there and I've gotten insanely close with him a couple times. Actually get insanely close all the time. It's one of my fucking anyway, we don't have to go there. It drives me insane. But first of all, if you make one with your kid playing 4 holes, does it count? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah. I think if you play a golf hole in one shot, it's a hole in one.
That's what I think.
I don't think it's a complicated topic. I think people just like to make it complicated.
When we pressed Mr. Golfberg on this, though, he said he had a plan that for anybody that has that whole issue of, well, you got to play 18 holes. He said if you hoop it, what were you going to do?
You just start there. So if I'm on the 4th hole and I made it, now I'm just playing. And even if it's nighttime, I'll get as far as I can. I'll come back in the morning.
Yeah, it just turns into a shotgun start.
Just make it turns into a shotgun start. Jake Dez gets me.
I'm telling you, man, there's like, I don't know. People just want to make that whole topic complicated. I think like, and as far as it, par 3 course doesn't count. I just like, everyone knows it. I mean, if it's a real golf hole, it counts. And if it's not, then like, if it's 35 yards, probably not. But like, you play an 88-yard par 3 on a par 3 course and you dunk it. Like you teed off on a tee box, you played the hole in one shot. It's a hole in one,
Because they have 35-yard holes at that amazing. What's the place in Wisconsin?
Sandbox.
The Sandbox.
Sandbox. Yeah.
And if you make one there, I assume you'd.
Feel
good about that.
That's a good one. I think we were talking about that. I got to play the Sandbox end of last summer. And so do you guys remember, I think it's 9. It's the one that you're by the clubhouse. It's downhill and you can like putt it. So like that example, I probably wouldn't count that if I made one. There'd be no pushback if someone was like, I hooped one. Like absolutely, you played a tee box. But like that's a good example of like, I wouldn't say I wouldn't count that as a hole in one. But most of the holes out there, you're hitting golf shots.
Most of hole. Yeah, they're for sure. And the Sandbox, so as you do this, I would like to like maybe touch base with you 2 years from now and go like, okay, I want the comprehensive list of the best short courses in the country because we we could go all day on them. But things like the Sandbox, things like the preserve out at Abandoned Dunes. I don't know if you've been out there yet. It's
how about the one at Stream Song?
Right? No, the chain.
The chain, yeah. Actually, I just played that for the first time. It was incredible. I mean, especially like, I think it's the first 6 holes are kind of its own little loop, more or less, and then 7 through 19. I mean, that was one of the coolest rounds I played all year for sure.
No
Seeing
shit.
that, because it's just, I mean, you've just got nasty diabolical wedges, and then you've got some. I think I hit like multiple 4 and 5 irons. I mean, you'll hit everything, right? So you'll
love it.
I don't know. It's cool. Every hole is so unique.
Well,
that place is awesome.
I've heard nothing good about the chain. Nothing but good about the chain. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make sure I might have to edit that. I've heard nothing but bad things about the chain.
Of course. Yeah.
But it's Core Crenshaw, man. Who did the sandbox? Core Crenshaw. Who did the preserve at Bandon Dunes? Core Crenshaw. They just get it, man.
They're
like,
good.
and by the way, you leave it and you're like, it's also it was real golf. Like there's plenty of like real golf shots. It's just on a whole nother level of creativity. It's
100%. I think too, like everyone who knows me has heard me say this a million times, but like short and dicey is the best golf. Like it's not even close. Like I hate, when you get par threes that are 4 irons or 2 irons or whatever. Like the two ways those holes go are the green and the target is like proportionately big for what you're hitting in a proper way, but that's kind of boring because it's just aim in the middle and hit it. Or it's not proportionally big, and that's just a bad hole. Where like you could hit a good shot, upper 50th percentile shot, and it's just bad still. It's like either way, that's not fun. But you can make a wedge shot pretty much as dicey as you want because it's if you have 15 feet of width and depth, like you'll hit that with a wedge. So
and then you get a good angle of on a tee box, bring a bunker into play. That's there. That like is almost meaningless if it's there's just so much stuff you can do.
Yeah. 100%.
Just people get obsessed with, I got to have, the 220-yard par 3. And I'm like, okay, again, if your course is solely built to host professional golf events, so be it. But if it's not, even if you, I would just, you never leave the golf course going, wow, that was a really good golf hole.
For sure.
Well, wedges are the best, maybe second only to putting. So if you don't love short courses, you're probably not that good of a golfer.
That's right.
And you probably need to go get good on short courses if you want to get better.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
It's the essence of it.
It's like the scoring stuff.
Yeah. So Stream Song. So we, I think I mentioned to you, and I just said it in here. We're going to be heading out there next month, so we'll be doing all the courses and the chain. So really excited. But to give us a little pro tip on Stream Song. What are we getting ourselves into?
It's super interesting. I guess y'all are staying on property, probably. Okay, so it's basically just play a big course in the morning and then just go out to the chain until dark. And I mean, you can't go wrong. Every big course is so different from one another. I think red and blue are probably closer than either of the two in black, but I think what's sick about that place is they are all so different. Obviously black is like so wide open, so stress free. You hit 14 drivers and you're not worried about really any of them. You just kind of send it, but then
make sure I'm on video for that one.
Of course. Yeah. There's no. Yeah. You'll hit a lot of fairways, and the greens are comically big, and it's just the coolest thing because there's no place like that. And again, I think that's what like I think what checks my like, do I like a course is it unique, right? And it's so memorable because the greens are massive, they're moundy, different pin placements play so different, and then you go over to blue, and blue's probably like the most normal golf course. It's just classically awesome. I mean, it's a bunch of good shots, a bunch of insane visuals, dramatic terrain. I mean, but again, more normal technically. And then red's just, again, Core Crenshaw. I mean, they're definitely my favorite designers. And red is just like a masterpiece in its own. I mean, you just have a bunch of like diabolical tee shots. That one, it's the opposite of black, and that you better lock in off the tee out there because there's so much water, so much junk.
Whoa!
And it's just a tough golf course.
Make sure I'm not on the camera for that one.
Yeah.
It's kind of Core Crenshaw 101 of, to me, even though they do have some like runoffs on their greens as a staple and you can get out of position that way, they just do a really good job of never making you comfortable off the tee. Like I don't know about red, but I haven't played it yet. But
no, you're describing it right now.
Most of their courses, they don't even allow you to just get in a rhythm. Like it's really like you're hitting multiple clubs off the tee, or you really need to move the ball one way to take advantage of what you want to. Some of the data
100%.
golf guys wouldn't like that, but it's like, I've always enjoyed the chess match playing Core Crenshaw
100%.
But they do tend to be kind of tough too. Even like everyone says dope courses are hard. I think dope courses can be harder for lesser skilled players, but I think for the better players, there's a lot of helping features, like a lot of bowl features. And maybe if you're
Definitely.
not at a particular level, you can't use those. But I've always
Yeah.
played dope courses pretty well. Core Crenshaw ones, you can get on the wrong side off the tee really easy.
100%. Yeah. And definitely the core Crenshaws are, red specifically, there is a lot of hazard, but it is a lot of that. Like it's in the, like, what makes it special is in the nuances. I think it's not, it's not super obvious why a hole might be amazing all the time out there, but then you play it a couple times and maybe you end up in different spots and you see approaches from different angles. And it's just like, it just seems so well thought out beyond what anyone would really think about until you kind of experience, you get in a spot that you're like, oh shoot, that was for sure intentional, that this is either the best spot to be or like a really bad spot, and it's just so nuanced. You can just tell that every hole's got a lot of intention in it.
Technical question: do they have golf carts?
They have golf carts. I think they have a golf cart season, so some parts of the year it's walking only. Some parts you can take carts.
I hope we're in the right season.
It's a big walk, I will say. Those all three courses are big walks, but yeah.
I can't help it. My scoring average goes up slightly when I'm walking. One time I've really knocked it out of the park walking. So I want to beat these guys. So I'm hoping we get golf carts.
Yeah, I think it depends on the season. Technically, sometimes you can, but it definitely depends.
Well, this is the camera Tyler is going to have a cart. So worst case is you can just hop in with him when you need to get some, just a breather. Every couple holes, just go on the long legs together.
Yep.
No, awesome. Do you have any other topics? If not, I had rapid fire for you. Like we just stupid rapid fires. But I was supposed to do that, I think, like 3 minutes in, but it'd be funny to do it at the very end. But anything else, Mr. Golfberg?
I don't know. Are plus handicaps ruining being a scratch golfer? Have plus handicaps just completely fucking ruined it? It's not even cool to be scratch anymore. You can't even get to scratch. What does that even mean?
Right.
It's like you used to think, I'd get to scratch. Now I'm really good, but there's people who are +7 handicaps.
Yeah. No, I don't think it ruins it. I don't think being a scratch golfer is such a feat. I think like nothing will ever ruin that. I mean, you're in the top, probably like 90, surely like 95th percentile if you're scratch or better. I don't think, regardless of how good anyone else gets.
I really want him to say 98th or 99th, but his 95th's not that cool.
Right. Being better than 19 out of 20.
What is scratch though? If you're like +2 to -2, is it it's if you have to be 0.0? That's difficult.
Yeah, I feel like if you're like under 0.5, if you round to 0, I feel like you're scratch.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm just making that up right now.
No, I think that
feels good. I mean, feels as good as anything.
No, it did. All right, let's do this rapid fire. If it's a dumpster fire, we'll give Tyler notes to cut this after the fact.
Perfect.
And this is going to be very YouTube-y, Instagram-y, content creator focused. Okay, let me get my professional voice on. Rapid fire with Jake, Dez Golf. Who would you most like to play in a match?
Rory.
Oh, Rory.
Fuck,
okay,
dude.
let me be
Well
really
done.
clear.
Yeah.
What a great answer.
That's the best answer ever.
Yeah.
Okay, now give me the answer.
So glad you didn't say Grant.
No,
I just
okay,
want to
now
I was
give
gonna
me.
hang up.
Yeah, no, okay. So Rory, that is the answer.
Sure.
Okay, so for
Content-wise.
your co-creators, who would you like to go out there?
What did y'all say?
Humble?
Say Grant? I would say Grant.
Okay, Grant, that's cool.
Yeah. Or
I don't know.
So
Can I be honest? Like you are very positive. Grant is very positive. Might be too much positivity in one video, man. Like,
too much smiling.
That's true. Yeah, it would be the least hostile golf match of all time. Yeah.
Hey, good.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
What's your lowest round ever?
61.
Okay, where was this?
3 times at North River. That was the one.
Oh.
I got the course record. That maybe March 2020 tied it into the summer, and then shot it one more time in 23.
Wow.
So what's happening at that point? You're draining everything, or you're not even having to putt? It's just
two of those rounds were on aerated greens. And so
Shut up.
The first one was aerated greens. The second one was not.
Stop the recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that counts.
And the third one is on my TikTok deep in the archives, but it's on there. But yeah, no, I think I just stuffed it a lot.
Yeah.
And then, even with punch greens, I think sometimes you just hit it, you're not even too worried about it because it's out of your control if you make or miss it. You just try to hit a good putt.
Take the breakout.
So what's the so this is probably could be the same answer, but I think it is a different question. So would you say one of those were your best rounds ever, or do you have something that sticks out as you think's like your best round? Like you played a beast in something that mattered and posted a number?
That's a great question. I think my instinct is to say that those were the best. I think they were just. I remember. I don't remember which one of those three, but one of them I remember I gained strokes on every approach I hit, which in my brain that's like I think that's probably the best round I've ever played, because that's, I mean, for those who like understand strokes gained, that's insane. I don't know how I did that, and it's one of those things I didn't think about it. I finished the round. I put my round into decade and saw all green for every approach.
Look at Hideki when he's winning golf tournaments. He literally doesn't have to putt. It's like
that's right.
Yeah, that's how he wins.
You know, that's how you do it.
That's right.
Scotty does it too. So
yeah. I mean, it's truly like. I mean, I just remember maybe birdieing like five or six in a row in the middle of the round, and it is just like. I mean, I think I hit it inside 10 feet more often than not, which that feels like it has to be the best round I've played.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh. You got a favorite golf course?
So I have three that are like tied first. I would say Tobacco Road, Taw Hill Farm, which no secrets if you follow me. Those places are sick, and then Friar's Head up in Long Island. Those, it's very hard for me to pick. I think Tot and Tobacco are the two most fun courses. I think that I literally like. I mean, I'm like geeked out when I got there. I just have the best time. I feel like a kid at Disneyland, honestly. So
so you clearly, there's a trend. You like the short courses. You like things rough around the edges. You like wild golf.
Yeah,
it's fun. I like all that too. I would say so I love Tobacco Road. Tons of fun. I think that's a really good example of unique, wild, but fun and engaging golf.
100%.
I'm not going to call anybody out specifically. I think there's a lot of modern builds that are chasing that are. Maybe you might go like, hey, this is so good, but I didn't find anything. There's a couple like over the top things at Tobacco Road, but they fit within the context of the round.
100%.
Seeing a lot of stuff out here, man, that is just like artificial manufactured, tricked up stuff for the sake of it, and I'm like,
right.
It's just not working for me.
That's the stuff that you hear about. Like if you haven't played a Strands course, like you hear everyone say the same thing. Like it's just like masterfully done, where it's truly ridiculous. Like the golf holes are ridiculous, but it all makes so much sense.
It works there.
It works. Yeah. And I think like the selling point for me with those two courses is they're so fair. I mean, they're so crazy. You get to hit ridiculous shots, use ridiculous slopes, but at no point is it gimmicky where it's like arbitrary whether or not you end up in the right spot. Like it's
I haven't done Tot Hill. I heard that might be a little harder, but like Tobacco Road to me is not hard at all.
No,
there's a couple shots you can get ejected on, but for every one of those, like there's helping features everywhere. It's just wild.
100%. Yeah. And I would describe both. It feels like Tobacco has the best green complexes, the most wild green complexes, and then Tot's the most wild, ridiculous tee shots, So if you're not really good tee to green, Tot,
it's tough.
Yeah.
Have you done a lot of West Coast golf?
I was just not about to ask that.
Oh,
yeah.
Not a lot,
I was just going to say, it's as a Southeastern native. Now I've lived here most of my life, and most of my golf was East Coast. It really is ruining stuff for me because
it's going out that way.
It's just all so good because there's the perfect balance of the golf's good with like usually better weather, usually better turf condition. It's just not Bermuda, and
it's the most beautiful part of the country.
Washington and Oregon, I haven't done anything yet where I'm not like I leave and go, well, I'm bumping something out of my top 10 now because we did Wine Valley Golf Club last summer.
Okay,
dude, it's in top 100 list near the end. I'm just telling you, you go out there.
Where is that?
It's in Walla Walla, Washington, so it's like 3.5 hours east of Seattle, but if you ever do a Washington State trip, it's a must do.
I'm dying to get to the Pacific Northwest. I know Oregon and Washington. I know I would.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable, and it's not even the hardest part. Is like Aaron lives up there now. You're obviously you want to check off some of the marquee stuff if you're up there. It's kind of a long trip for guys like us, but it's just like everything's good. So it's just you're not going to go wrong. But Wine Valley, we always build it up, man. It's just like everything you could want out of a golf property. It's all about the golf. The turf is like the best turf, but it's what was it, Aaron? Like Aaron sniffed it out. He's like, we've never played on turf like this because it plays like fescue, like firm, fast. You could literally, people say, oh, you could putt from everywhere, but it's
there's like this much give at the top of it, and you can feel it. It was like made for hitting irons.
And we're like, why is it though? Like you're getting the flush contact, almost like it's country club flush, but it is fescue and tight as it could be. And what they did a hybrid with like 25% bluegrass, so it has this very weird hue on it. But it plays unreal. Like you can do whatever you want with a 60, but also legitimately, if you want to bump and run hybrid from 80 yards, it's a legitimate play. And it's got
so fun.
Amazing features. It's beautiful property. It's like, God, it's as good as it gets.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm picturing like you describing the grass. It's like zoysia top, but like firm. It's not like the spongy zoysia.
Yeah. So so
it sits up, but it's bouncy.
Yeah, dude. It's so cool. And it's just a great property. So anyways, you got a favorite club?
I don't. I would say the club that comes to mind is like a 2-iron in general. Like I had, especially I grew up with a Shrixon.
Such a flex.
I have, so specifically because of this one club, I had the Shrixon ZU45 maybe. I don't even know the name, but I used that for like 10 or 11 years. It was in my bag, never came out for one round. Has like the Aldola Bayou blue shaft. And I mean, I swear like that thing's magic. Like I don't think I've ever missed a fairway with it. And I even went, so I kind of realized that at one point, one of the semesters at Bama, I went the whole semester without missing a fairway with that until the SEC championship. I missed one fairway at Sea Island, and but that was it. The whole, 5-6 tournaments.
It's like Jack Nicklaus with this 3-wood, never changed it. Never even changed the grip.
Yeah, it was literally that. I didn't touch the grip. It's here somewhere. As soon as I stopped, playing tournaments, I was okay with taking it out a little bit, but it's magic. So I would say that one club specifically is kind of the GOAT.
God, that's insane. I can't imagine my answer being a 2-iron. But no, it's good. That's a +7 problems there. Yeah, I had a couple more, but look, Jake, you're so nice. These were just going to be fun, and I was going to force you to say something like mean about somebody, but I won't make you do it. So I know you're not going to do it. So it's a good person, good place to be.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, it's just Jake. It's like we're living in a. Do you watch Black Mirror?
I have before. I watched like first few seasons.
Yeah, first season. It's like we're living in a Black Mirror episode, dude. You got all these content creators, all these influencers just churning in the basement.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be successful one day. This shit's gonna pop, and they move Jake up to the top floor. Yeah, he's in a suite. He's got the good food now, and I'm genuinely happy for you. It's awesome.
Thank you,
it's just like
it
just post every day, right? That's all it takes.
Yeah. I mean,
post a day.
I didn't know this was a job 3 years ago, honestly. I mean, it's like, it does feel like a Black Mirror episode where it's like,
cool.
It's reality, but it doesn't feel like reality sometimes,
I know.
It's, I don't know. It's exciting. I'm very appreciative of all of it.
Yeah. Well, Jake, hey, we kind of ran up on our allotted time, and I know you're not feeling the best, but we really do appreciate it. And again, if you got to this point, you know who Jake Dez Golf is, and you know where to follow him at, and you know about the chasing aces. But yeah, hopefully our paths crossed. I'm a Southeasterner, Mr. Golfberg, so we got a lot of stuff planned. So hopefully we can get out there and slap it around one day. We could,
I'd love that.
We'll just go to the game. I mean, I'm not above. You got to give me a couple shots of sides, and it's just is what it is.
Yeah, we'll do whatever we got to do. We'll make it a fun match. That'd be incredible.
It'll be good. Awesome. But all right. So Lettuce Heads, this was awesome. Hopefully you got out of it. If you had, I know you probably consume a ton of quote golf content creator stuff. So hopefully you get a little bit of knowledge on that, and then go check out Jake. And most importantly, we will see you next week, and stay plugged.